NBA playoffs game 3. I don't have a specific slip in tonight's video, but I am going to go over my favorite props, specifically for Drew, Kyrie, and Tatum, because these are all star players. I'll explain what that means in a little bit. But first, let's recap last night's picks. I went for a triple stack in this Tampa Bay versus Cubs game, and unfortunately, Suzuki did absolutely nothing. So this one did not cash, and same thing here. I went for a stack where Randy and Brandon Lowe. Randy ended up DNPing. Brandon Lowe did hit, but then Tyon just hooked us here on the strikeouts. So despite all the green, both the 4 powers actually missed. But we'll move on to today for the NBA playoffs. And the reason you want to be taking these 3 specific players, like I said in the intro, is because they're going to give you a 10% boost to no matter what entry you're playing, whether you're playing it as a 2-man, 4-man, or whatever it may be. Obviously, this is a very big boost. Don't play it in 3 powers because you're just going to get a 6x on underdog either way. Just for example, on a 4-man, instead of getting that 10x, you're going to be getting that 11x. And on a 6-man, for those of you who play 6-mans as you should be, you're going to get a 27.5x rather than that 25x. So that's a massive payout boost, so you're definitely going to be targeting these 3 players. So let's go over each of these top 3 popular picks because I have something to say about all of them. Drew Holiday on the 25 points plus rebounds plus assists. I know you guys are on the over because if you check the last 5, I mean, he's basically clear this every single time. He did push it once in game 1 versus Dallas, but you guys don't care about that. You're going to be all over the over. That being said, I don't think this is actually the play. You'd want to be on the under, specifically on Prizepicks. I'm not saying Drew is going to go under over. I'm just saying in terms of value, when you're comparing this to other sportsbooks, you could get a better price on Pinnacle. You could get a better price on any other sportsbook. So if I go over to Drew Holiday, you're going to see he's set at 24.5, and he actually has juice towards the under. On Prizepicks, where you're taking over or under, you're still going to get that same payout. So the fact that 24.5 is juice towards the under, the play is actually the under 25 points rebounds assists, specifically on Prizepicks. So actually getting great value on Drew Holiday's under. If we go over to a sportsbook, for example, take Drew Holiday on his over 24.5 points plus rebounds assists. Again, 24.5, we're getting half a point extra on a sportsbook. And if you pair that up with something like Doncic over rebounds, which is also a pretty popular pick, you're going to get a plus 250 payout on a sportsbook. If I put $100 on this on Prizepicks, I'm getting $330 in return, and that's with the fact that I'm getting a 10% boost on Drew Holiday, which is not a normal occurrence. So if I were to use Jaylen Brown instead of Drew, I'm only getting $300. So basically what I'm trying to show you is you're getting a terrible payout if you're taking Drew Holiday points, rebounds, assists on Prizepicks specifically. If you do like his over, go and take it on the sportsbook. Go and take it anywhere else where it's actually set at 24.5 and you're getting better value. If you have access to Pinnacle, we'll go with that. That's minus 111 on this prop. That's absolutely great. That being said, on Prizepicks, because this is way bumped, it probably was at 24 or 24.5 earlier in the day, but once popular picks get to the top, they become bad value, especially when it's a straight green prop like this. Everyone is jamming the over, so Prizepicks hires the line up and then the under becomes the play. So this is going to be the first pick. Now for Kyrie Irving, I believe a lot of people are going to be in this under. I'm assuming that's the popular pick because of his last 2 games. He only got 12 and 16 points. I do think Kyrie's under is the correct play, and we could show you this with juice if we go over to a sports book, for example. This is what you want to be looking for, right? There is more juice on his under than his over, so minus 122, basically the higher the minus, the more likely it is to occur. This is something you want to see. That being said, it's not enough juice, and there is a better play, and it's right here, actually. Kyrie Irving on the under 2.5 3-point made. You're going to see it's more juice than his under points, and if you're liking his under points, you're probably liking his under 3s, which I think is the actual better play on this. So despite the fact that Kyrie Irving is actually his popular play with 40k people on him, I don't know why his 3 points made is not up here because that's also a great play. That is going to be the second play I'd be eyeing and throwing into as many entries as possible. Like I said, these guys are all-star players. They're going to be giving you that boost. Make sure you're putting each of these props in different slips because these 10% boosts do not stack up. So you're going to put 1 prop per slip so you get that 10% boost on every single slip you play. And if we take a deeper dive into this Kyrie prop, if you check his 23.5, you're going to see the juice is towards the under on Caesars and BetMGM. DraftKings and FanDuel kind of have him flat at 50-50 odds to go over that under. But his 3 points made, I think, is a way better prop. He got 0 the first game, got 0 the second game. I took it last game. I'm pretty sure I took it game 1, 2, and it cashed both times for me. And you can see every single sportsbook has juice towards the under. FanDuel, DraftKings, Caesars, BetMGM all agree. Pinnacle also agrees, as I showed you here, minus 132. And if I take a step further and show you Bet365, they also have juice on Kyrie Irving 3s towards the under, minus 125 there. So every sign points towards this play being better than the points play. And if we go ahead and check his actual 3-point attempts, he only chucked up 5 threes in game 1, chucked up 3 threes in game 2, and he hit a whopping 0 of those threes. So in his past 8 3-point attempts, he has hit 0 shots. And honestly, this is just not enough attempts to even hit this prop on its own. He's averaging about 40% from 3. He's going to need at least 6 shots to even clear this prop, and he's only shot 6 or more shots in 5 out of the past 10 games. And again, he's been shooting poorly in these past 2. And he also shot less than 6 threes in these past 2. Another play I'm liking on Kyrie is going to be another under. And I'm sure a lot of you guys are on this too. It's going to be his rebounds plus assists. This is another line that's too high for whatever reason. It should be set at 8.5. And I'll show you why. If we go over to his rebounds and assists on props.cash, you're going to see, yes, pretty decent juice towards his over at 8.5. But remember, we're getting him at 9. There's a massive difference between 8.5 and 9. Because as you can see in the past 2 out of 10 games, he actually pushed it at 9. Where of course we get that as a void bet on Prizepicks rather than losing it. At 8.5, I think the over would be to play. At 9, the under is most definitely to play. And you can see right here, I'm sure you guys are loving this last 10. And the fact that at least we get that push potential at that 9 prop. He's only cleared 10 in the past 2 out of 10 games. So this should be a very safe bet, at least to push. So that's going to be prop number 3. And if we go over to Jason Tatum, this is a super popular prop. I'm guessing you guys are on the over again because of the past 4 out of 5. But if you're liking the rebounds assist at 16, which I'm not liking, I would prefer it at 15.5. I think at 16, once again, the play is actually on the under because these lines are bumped too high. If you got a 15.5, congrats, that is a good line. But a good substitute for the rebounds assist, if you're liking the RA, you're probably going to like the rebounds. The over 9.5 rebounds on Tatum is a great play. He hooked it last game at 9, but he's been averaging 9.8. And I'll show you the juice on this play. You're going to see minus 130 towards the over, minus 102 on the under. Again, the higher the minus, the more likely it is to happen. Let me just turn this into an actual percentage for you guys. If we put minus 130 and minus 102, the sportsbook is basically saying there's a 52.82% chance that he goes over that 9.5 rather than the under, which only has a 47% chance to hit. And we can also compare this to some other sportsbooks on props.cash. You can see FanDuel will juice towards the over at minus 128, DraftKings minus 122, Caesars minus 125, and MGM minus 120. So every single book has this towards the over. Beautiful last 10 graphs. Hooked it last game. He did hook it last game, but we're still okay with that. And if we compare this to the RA, you're going to see similar to what I said with Kyrie. He does have juice towards the over on FanDuel and MGM, but Caesars and DraftKings kind of have him flat here at minus 119. Like very, very slight juice towards the over. And if we go and check on Bet365 too, we'll see that Tatum rebounds assist is set at 15.5, kind of flat at minus 115, minus 115. So this line should absolutely be set at 15.5 on Prizepicks. The under 16 is definitely to play. That being said, if we're going the over 9.5 rebounds, of course, it doesn't make sense to go under 16 points plus assists because the rebounds are going to be that main thing filling up the RA, so you don't want to really hedge it out. Jason Tatum over 9.5 rebounds is way better than the over 16 RA, so if you're liking the RA, go with the rebounds instead. Please do yourself the favor. Now, these last 2 props are strictly based on juice. We got Jason Tatum on his over 1.5 blocks plus steals and Jrue Holiday on his over 1.5 blocks plus steals. You're not going to like the last 5 graphs, especially on Tatum. He's only cleared this 1 out of 5 times. Same thing for Jrue. He's actually cleared this less times than he's hit it. But if we go over to the steals and blocks prop, you're going to see Jason Tatum does have juice towards the over at minus 135 on Caesars. Same thing for BetMGM and same thing for Bet365. Check the steals blocks, minus 130 towards the over, plus 100 on the under. Again, let me translate this for you guys. So basically about a 53% chance that he goes over steals and blocks rather than the under. And same concept for Jrue Holiday. You're going to see minus 135 juice towards the over. So that's even better than the Tatum play. And if we check the other props, you're going to see again, Caesars minus 135 juice towards the over. BetMGM minus 135 towards the over as well. So if you're making 6 slips tonight, definitely implement each of these props within those slips. Jrue Holiday under PRA. Kyrie under 2.5 3 points made. Kyrie under 9 rebounds assists. Tatum over rebounds, Tatum over steals blocks, and Jrue over steals blocks. This is going to be my 6 official NBA plays tonight, so good luck with whatever entries you throw these guys into.